Officer on deck.
At ease, soldier. Alright, today we're gonna be testing out the 2019 i9 8-core MacBook Pro to see if she can handle macOS gaming, Windows gaming, and for the ultimate experience, we're gonna be hooking her up to an eGPU with Vega 64 graphics. It's time to get gaming, soldiers! Alright, first up, let's do a bit of Fortniting. 720p, this is the settings it's detected. I'm gonna go with it. The fans at the moment, they're locked in at 4,000 RPMs. CPU's going at 3.5 to 3.8, up to 4 gigahertz, eating up 18 watts of power. Alright, the fans are officially maxing out. 5,600, 700, that's it, we're maxing out the fans, and this is just purely on loading screen. Oh, there you go, that's kind of nice. Getting around 45 frames a second in this angle. Oh, this bit's a bit chuggy. 6 frames a second, 720p. 60 frames, let's see. Oh, it's loaded up. It's running pretty fast now. That's pretty nice. You got 50 frames a second. This is the maximum resolution 336. An epic, let's go epic graphics. Hit apply. Is this real? It's still running fast. There you go. Fortnite, 35 frames a second. Jump in. Not much going on the screen, but still 40 frames a second there, and you're getting a nice consistent frame rate. Looks pretty smooth, and you can see that the fans are at max, and CPU temperature was going around 75 for most of the gaming. So that's not maxing out 100, it's about 75, engaging the CPU and the GPU. Now it's time to switch up into real gaming. We're going to be jumping into Windows. Right, Sonic All-Stars Racing, maximum resolution, full screen, Radeon Pro 560X, high quality. Yep, it's a cool 60 frames a second. This game is running super fast. Of course, it's an old game, but it looks beautiful, looks gorgeous, and it's so super smooth. Turbo boost over there. The fans are on. They're around 4,000 RPM from the noise levels, going up towards 5,000, but they're not maxing out like they were in Fortnite. Just gonna be adding my Bluetooth controller. Perfect, we are connected. We're at 1080p, the settings, and let's start a game. Definitely playable. It's not 60, it's more like 30 frames a second. Make it 720p. Nice. Alright, this is a lot smoother. Yeah, this feels very smooth. It's a nice game to play now. Oh yeah, kick. Oh yeah. Boom. Boom, shaka. Oh yeah, take that. Oh, drop kick right in the face. Boom. Blew up that car. KO, crappy game. MacBook Pro wins. All right, maximum resolution. We're at 25 frames a second, 28 frames a second. Some violence is happening on the screen. And now we're time to play. And we are at 30p, 30 frames a second. Graphics are gorgeous. Look at that beauty. Oh, it looks gorgeous and smooth. The fans are going nuts, by the way. But you can play at maximum res. Look. In options here, we are, where's graphics? We are at maximum resolution, and it's pretty much high to medium. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it down to around 1080p. This is the closest I can get. And apply these changes, and let's see the frame rate here. 60 frames a second. Look at that. Gorgeous, high quality graphics. 60 frames a second in this scene. It's smooth as butter, to be honest. Maximum graphics I seem to be able to set it is 1280 by 800. We got 99 frames a second, flying high in the sky. Look at that, gorgeous screens. 100 frames a second. Alright, this is 20 frames a second on standard. It looks gorgeous, but the frame rate is really low. That was at maximum resolution of 288x 1800. So let's make it 1080p. This one's the closest I can get. This is 1050, 44 frames a second, 36 frames a second, 44 frames a second. So it floats between 30 FPS to 60 FPS. And we've got beautiful fields over here. The fans are of course going nuts. So I'm switching up to 800p, running through the fields. It is more blurry, but if you play at a distance, it doesn't look that bad. 60 frames a second running through the fields. Back in the fields where he used to run when he was a kid before he was abducted and turned into a super assassin. Mr. Hitman himself, Dean Kennedy. Let's just stop, look ourselves in the mirror, say, do I really want to go through to this? Is this the kind of life that I want? Alright, so as you can see, so far gaming on the MacBook Pro, it's noisy. The fans just won't quieten down. You can get good performance on some of the games at 1080p, but when you start to max it out, it does, it doesn't go faster than 30p. Some games slow down to 20, 24p, and some games, even at 720p, if you shoot too much in the windows, you're gonna be in trouble. Instead of the glass shattering, decals just constantly appear on the screen, and we've managed to slow down the game to 15 frames a second. But generally, it's all right. Just prepare for fan noise and a bit of slowdowns here and there. For the price, I won't go into that. You're not really getting this machine for gaming, and you're not getting a 560X graphics version for gaming. However, now it's time to plug in the eGPU. Look at that. I'm gonna plug it in for the first time, and we're gonna be playing some games on my ultra-wide screen 1440p monitor. It's just launching up right now. I've got a Vega 64 plugged in. Now the good thing about having an eGPU is that it turns off the DGPU in your system, which means you get more thermal headroom for your CPU to go even faster. So I'm gonna have some nice maximum performance tests coming soon, but for now let's check out the gaming results and let's jump into Fortnite. Settings, so we're on epic, maximum resolution. The fans are going 2,900 RPM. And there you go, flying out of the sky. Deploy, 35 frames a second. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Still 30 frames a second. And we have landed. I'm just swinging along and running around, getting 40 frames a second. This is the 2018 i7 MacBook Pro, and I figured I'd show you the performance and speed on this guy. The slowest I saw it go was 24 just then, but at the moment it's averaging over 30 frames a second. Yeah, it's a nice consistent over 30 frames a second performance. Last time we could only get 60 frames a second at 720p. So you can see right there on the top left, it's going 60 frames a second, super smooth, maximum quality, and looks beautiful, yeah. Something to note is that the fans are still going at maximum, and we can see that we're going 4.25 gigahertz, 4.3 gigahertz. And this is pretty unnecessary for this game because it's not a CPU intensive game, it's mainly the GPU. So in order to get that down, I'm going to use an app called Throttle Stop. So what I'm going to do with this app is I'm going to disable turbo, and we've got no fans running whatsoever. The computer's completely silent, and the CPU is limited to 2.3 gigahertz. And my fighting needs to improve. Whoa. Noise. Whoa. There you go. We're 60 frames a second. The fans are not audible. They sound like they're going around 3,000. And they're a smooth 60 frames a second at maximum resolution. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that run through of gaming on the MacBook Pro 2019. As you can see, this game is running silent. It's running maximum resolution, 60 frames a second with the eGPU Vega 64. Whereas when it was running natively with the 560X graphics, I could only do 720p to get 60 frames a second. Other games like Dead or Alive, that guy, You could run 60 frames a second, but the CPU would just go at 4.3 gigahertz, which made the fans go crazy. So in order to get that game playing well, still at 60 frames a second, what you need to do was use an app called Throttle Stop and disable Turbo Boost. And natively, that game also needs to go at 720p to get 60 frames a second. Some games do work well at 1080p, Metal Gear Solid, that kind of stuff. And Fortnite, that one ran pretty well on the Mac itself, but it did create lots of fan noise. When I did run it through an eGPU, the fan noise dropped significantly by half, but I wasn't unfortunately able to get epic settings with the Vega 64. For that, I guess you'll need the Radeon 7. Hope you enjoyed that review and the experience of the 2019 MacBook Pro. Let's get some gaming. macOS gaming, Windows gaming, and for the ultimate experience, we're going to be hooking her up to an eGPU with Vega 64 graphics. It's time to get gaming, soldiers. Mega gun.